Kyle, and in today's video what I would like us to look at is I'd like us to look at comparing basically how it's tested in the reading paper. We had a bit of a look about how you write comparisons in the writing paper, so now we're focusing on the reading. Now level 1 here is on the left here, and we can see here our objective here is to compare information, ideas and opinions in different texts. Level 2 here is asking us to compare our information, ideas and opinions in different texts, as well as including how they are conveyed. And it's also going to be a little bit about this as well, because at level 2 we're not expected to necessarily be given these opinions we're comparing, and we'll have a bit of a look at that later when we look at the papers, but we're also going to have to identify those points of view as well. So that does make it a little bit different. So let's have a look first at level 1. So I'm going to call up this one here. This is the technology reading paper from the sample papers they give. And this is how they tend to test with level 1. So you can see here you've got a table, and down the left here you've got these statements or these opinions, and you need to decide whether they're existing in document 1, document 2, or in both documents. Now there are several ways that you can go about this, but the number one piece of advice I can give you is to read efficiently. And what I mean by that is don't read necessarily through the whole document. You can, for instance, use scan reading. So scan reading is where you're looking for key words. And this does also apply to level 2, by the way. So do listen. So, we know this one here, the first bit is technology is very important to business. Well, a general overview of both those texts will tell you that that is the case. You know, neither text is, the first text is a bit against technology in the workplace, but it does say right at the start it's essential to business. And again, right at the start here, we're told that in the workplace, you know, technology is important. In fact, if anything, the title gives it away. And that's another good tip here. When you're dealing with articles, and this counts for level 1 as well, the overall overarching opinion of the writer is usually going to be included in that introductory paragraph. If you remember to when we were looking at how to write articles, we've even said sometimes, you know what, you can leave the introduction to the last and go back and add it. Because the introduction should give your reader the overview of your opinions and what you believe about this issue. So we can always look in that introductory paragraph if we're looking for opinions. Upgrading technology is expensive. And again, what we're looking here for is scan reading. So we're looking for references to money and finance. And we can quickly go through and find those potentially. Yeah, we'll move on from there. I mean, this section here really, this needs constantly across the upgrade, and that sort of tells us it's in document 1. We can then give it a read through. I'm not going to go through all of this because obviously I don't want to go through all of it really because we don't have time. But yeah, we can scan read that. We can find it in document 1, and again with document with this opinion here, we can basically do the same. So we can go through and we can look for references to technology being a distraction. And with this one, we can think about references to education, to having to learn, to having to train. So just by using scan reading, we don't have to read the whole thing. We can just look for those keywords, those key ideas quickly. So that's how you go about it for paper 1. Essentially, you just fill in this column. And what I would suggest, to be perfectly honest with you guys, is I would suggest maybe when you're filling this in the exam, just doing it here a little bit really, or just jotting it down to one side, just in case you sort of go through again and you realise you've got one of them wrong. It's a bit easier to correct. But do make sure you complete that table. So, moving on to level 2 here. And level 2 gets a little bit trickier. I'm not going to look at comparing language features today, but I am going to look at the much, much more common question, which is about comparing ideas and opinions. Now, sometimes they will give you this nice little thing here, where it says document 1 says don't expect lasting change for at least 3 months, and what are 2 things that the author of document 2 says that shows he disagrees with this. And again, we are going to scan read. We've been given the opinion in document 1 that change might not come about for at least 3 months. So now we are scan reading document 2, and we are looking for references here to time. Okay? So that's what we do. So we were told 3 months there. Well, straight off the bat, I've seen the word month there, and if I read around it, it's saying try it for just 1 month and watch as your resolution becomes an unshakable habit. So that's one piece of evidence we can say straight off the bat backs up the idea that document 2, the author of document 2, disagrees. That the author of document 2 believes change can occur in less than 3 months, and we're looking for references to time here. Now, moving on here, and this is a bit more tricky. They give us a vague subject, in this case interacting with other people, and how that can affect success in keeping resolutions. And this is where you're expected to sit down and write a paragraph, and we can see here it's worth 3 marks, so that's a decent amount of marks. That is 10% of the marks for this paper. Now, what we do here is we focus here on this bit about it affecting success in keeping resolutions. Okay? So we're talking about other people here, other people and how that can affect success. So if we look up here, well, we can use the same approach. We can scan read, and we can look here at the subheadings as well. So we've got a subheading called Do It With a Friend. Now that tells me, given the overall topic is resolutions, this bit here is what I'm probably going to get the most info from. Okay? So, partnering up with someone can boost to a likelihood of seeing things through. Joint planning helps people commit to new exercise regimes, and starting something new with a friend significantly increases motivation. So we've got 3 ideas coming out here. Partnering up with other people can boost the likelihood of it working. That joint planning helps people commit to new exercise regimes, and starting something new with a friend increases motivation. And if we look down here as well, what we're doing here is we're looking here and we're scan reading as we read through. Well, this subheading here includes the word friends, so I reckon we can potentially use this. And we've got here, we all achieve goals in different ways. Some find it easy to meet targets if you do it with friends, but some of us find more success when going it alone. Enjoying some quiet time alone with your thoughts will help give you the motivation you need to succeed. So we've got a couple of points here, and there is a point of comparison. So document 1 really is just highlighting that friends really help out here, whereas document 2's opinion is more about, sure, working with friends helps some people, it doesn't help everyone though, and actually you might benefit from the time alone. Okay? And there's also some stuff here about motivation. So document 2 is suggesting that enjoying quiet time alone with your thoughts can give you motivation, whereas document 1 here suggests that doing something new with a friend increases motivation. So we've got 2 points of comparison here. If you think back to the other video we looked at, we want to be comparing like with like. So document 1 is suggesting that working with friends really helps, whereas document 2 suggests that for some people, working alone is better. Document 1 suggests that friends increase motivation, whereas document 2 suggests that spending some alone time helps with motivation. So what we need to do then is we need to actually write this up, and there's something really crucial to remember here. The biggest thing to remember here is you need to be using clear discourse markers. And what I mean by that is we start with something we take from document 1. So doc 1, document 1 suggests working with friends increases motivation, and here I'm just going to very quickly quote, okay? I'm in the exam, I don't have time to write tons. Starting something new with a friend significantly increased motivation. So I'm just going to include with a friend increased motivation. That's all I'm going to quote here, okay? And again, 4, 5 words. Use ellipses to show where you're missing words out, and it needs to be relevant. Now this is the really important part here, because I'm comparing. I need to use a discourse marker, because otherwise the examiner doesn't know I'm comparing. So I'm going to use however to show a difference. If I was talking about something similar, I might use similarly. So however, document 2 suggests that actually being alone can increase motivation. And again, short quotes here I'm working on. Okay, so I'm going to go with enjoying some quiet time alone with your thoughts, and of course with your beautiful new ground, blah, 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 blah. Well, we're not going to quote all that, are we? So I'm just going to go quiet time alone, give you the motivation. Okay? And again, these ellipses, these 3 dots, show that I know that there's missing words here, and the examiner knows that I'm quoting this big this sort of big section. So there you go. That is how you work that out. Okay. So something from document 1 and an opinion from document 1. Quote, discourse marker, and then a matched opinion. So you're comparing like with like from document 2. Quote. That's how you lay that out. So just to reiterate here, top tips really, you need to be reading more efficiently if it's both levels, and use what you know about how the text is written. So opinions, a writer's opinion is probably going to be an introduction if it's an article. Scan reading. So for instance, if it's asking about dog treats, look for the word dog treats and use the subheadings and other layout or organisational features to find what you want to be looking for. Because as we've just demonstrated there, those subheadings were super useful for me when it came to identifying what section I wanted to look at. And at level 2, you need those discourse markers. You need to include them because you need to show the examiner you are comparing. So words like however or similarly. Okay? And that shows that you've stopped talking about the first document and now you are starting to compare it to the second. And again, you need to be quoting and referencing to level 2 and try and keep it succinct. Try and keep it brief and succinct. Quote as few words as you can to get across the evidence you need to back up what you just said. So there we go. That is how you approach the reading questions at level... Sorry, my apologies. That is how you approach the comparison questions at level 1 and at level